Hey everyone, welcome back to new content of Cybrosys. In today's video, we will be discussing about BOM. BOM is generally known as the bill of material that outlines the materials that is used for manufacturing a product. We can say that it's a blueprint because it outlines all the materials that is required for manufacturing a particular product, as well as it also shows the production process by showing the operations that undergo with manufacturing an item. So in Odoo 18, there are two primary BOM type, that is manufacture this product as well as kit. So let's brief how the BOM works in Odoo 18 manufacturing module. To set up the BOM, let's move on to the manufacturing module, and under the products we can find the BOM. So as you just choose the BOM over here, this shows all the created BOMs in your database. So the next step is that we can just create the BOM with the required components. So here I would like to choose the BOM, which is Java over here. And in this case, you can find the product name is given because we are just going to manufacture the item Java over here. And if you want to create the product variants, you can set that, and we can also provide the reference. So under the BOM type, we have different BOM types such as manufacture this product, kit, and all. And if you want to enable the subcontracting, you can just move on to the settings, and from there you can just enable the subcontracting. So as you just enable the subcontracting, you can find the BOM type as subcontracting over here. So let's move on to the product and choose the BOM to find the difference. So we have to wait for a while in order to get load of everything. Yeah, let's move on to the products, and you can again choose the BOM. Now, as you just move on to the drawer here, you can see that as we have enabled that feature under the BOM type, we are getting the subcontracting also. Now, here we would like to only manufacture one quantity. You can specify the quantity that you want to manufacture. So, in this case, I'm only setting the quantity as one, and we can say that this bill of material comes under the company Cybrosys. So, currently we are in the default company, that is Cybrosys. Okay, and we can also manage the individual BOMs, and that can be easily accessed or created by clicking the bill of material smart button from the product form. So as you just move on to the product here, you can find different products that are available. So I would like to choose Aquastic Block Stream. As you just move on to the more button here, you can see we can easily manage the BOMs for individual items. And this can be also easily accessed from the sales module, inventory module, and manufacturing module. Now let's move on to the sales module. So under the sales module, as you just move on to the products here, you can find the same thing, that is the option which is bill of material under more, and as you just move the inventory also, you can find the same thing. So we can just move to the products in order to get that. So I would like to choose a share floor protection over here. So in this case, you can see it's just given as the product type good, and as you just enable the inventory, track inventory, you can find that we can just manage with the creation of the bill of material. So ensure that the product is a storable product. If you are setting a product as a consumable product, you cannot manage the BOM for that item. Now, we can just consider the component tab. So let's move on to the manufacturing module itself. And let me choose the bill of material. Either you can just get it from the other modules also, but I would like to take it from the bill of material because the bill of material is a prime feature of manufacturing module. Now, in the component tab of a BOM that specify the components that is used to manufacture the product. So by clicking on add a line, you can add the components. So in this case, we have the product drawer, which means we want to manufacture the product drawer. And we require certain components such as the drawer black and drawer case. Okay. And in order to manufacture all these items, you might be requiring the screw, bolt, then piece of a table, which means a wooden panel and all. So if you want to add that, you can just click on add a line to add the item. So by clicking on add a line, you can only add individual items over here. But if you're just going with catalog, then this would give you vast options in order to select the item. In a single click, you can just add multiple items into the BOM. So that's how we can add the item, and here we can optionally access additional fields by clicking on this settings edges button. So you can see this icon just which is far right of the component tab, and as you just want to that, here you can find the tick boxes, and here we have apply on variance, consumed in operations, and manual consumption. So apply on variance specify which product variant each component is used in. So when the field is left blank, the component is used in all product variant. So let me enable that field over here. So you can see that a field will be applied in the screen. Now, as we just move on to the other field, which is the consumed in operations, specify the operations used in the component useful for determining the manufacturing readiness. Okay, so you can also add that. And afterwards, here you can find the highlight consumption, which means we can just force to check the consumed items over here. So if I'm enabling this, you can see we can also set that over here. Okay. So not doing so triggers the consumption warning error message, and where the consumed components quantity must be manually inputted. Otherwise, the operation cannot be completed. So if you want all these fields, you can just get it from the adjustment settings. If you don't want that, you can just um, uncheck everything so that it won't be visible in your screen. Now, under the operations, here you can find that we can add a operation to the BOM that specify the instruction for a production and register time spent on the operations. And this feature actually is getting from the work order. So, in order to enable this feature, we have to move on to the configuration, and under the settings, here you can see that we have already enabled the feature called work orders. So, if you are not enabling this feature, you won't be getting the operation tab under the bill of material. So this would allow you to process your operations at specific work centers. Now, as you just move on to the configuration here, you can see that we can separately create the operations. So here I would like to choose one of the operation, let's say, which is manual assembly. So in this case, you can provide the name of the operation, and you can also provide the bill of material under which this operations should be take place. And you can also provide the work center, which means the assembly operation of the tabletop will be taking under the manufacturing center assembly 1. And if you want to apply this on any particular variants, you can also set that. And here we can also set the duration computation, that is the time uh, that is taking to manufacture the particular item, which can be compute based on the track time, or we can also set it manually. And by default, we will be giving 1 hour, which means 60 minutes. And under the worksheet, we can also provide different worksheets like such as the PDF, the Google Slides, or text. So from this, we will get all the configurations regarding the item that is used in the work center, assembly line with assembly line one with the operation manual assembly. Now let's consider the BOM that we were dealing with. So let's move on to the bill of material. So under this you can find the drawer. So as you just move on to the operations, here you can see that we have to first pack the item, and afterwards we will be doing some testing operations. Afterwards a long time assembly will be taking place. So you can see we have set different work centers, and the computations, duration computation, that is a working time is um, setting duration manually, and by default we have just given 60 minutes. Yeah, 60 minutes, which will be treated as 1 hour. Okay. Now, what we have to manage is about the miscellaneous tab. So, under the miscellaneous tab, we have different things like the manufacturing readiness, the versions, flexible consumption, operation dependencies, routing, manufacturing lead time, days to prepare manufacturing order, and all. Now we have the miscellaneous tab that contains more BOM configuration to customize procurement, calculate cost, and define how components are consumed. And the first field is manufacturing readiness, which means that when components for the first operations are available, shows the component status as green, not available, when only the components that are consumed in the first operations are in stock. This indicates that although not all components are available, operators can at least begin with the first operations. Choosing when all components are available displays red not available component status unless all components are unavailable. And afterwards, we can find the field called version. This displays the current BOM version. visible to the Odoo PLM app installed for managing the BOM changes. And we have the flexible consumption that specify if components used can deviate from the quantities defined on the BOM, choosing the blocked if operators must adhere strictly to the BOM quantity. Otherwise, you can choose allowed or allowed with warning. And here we have the other field, that is operation dependencies. So operation dependencies purely work based on using the work order dependencies. So we have already done a video on what is work order dependencies, how the work order dependencies are working in Odoo and all. So if you want to refer that, kindly watch the video. And the here we can find the other field, which is routing, that select the preferred warehouses manufactured operation type for the product produced in multiple warehouses. If left, the warehouse manufacturing operation is used as default. And we can also find the manufacturing lead time. And this defines the number of days need to complete a manufacturing order from the date of confirmation. And the other field is days to prepare manufacturing order. This shows the number of days need to replenish components or manufacture sub assemblies of the product. Now, if you want to add the byproducts, we can also add the byproduct from the configuration settings. So, as you just move to the configuration settings, here we can find the byproduct. So, we can say that the byproduct is a residual product from the primary product, or we can say that that is a secondary product generated from the primary product. So, byproduct will be a residual product that is added during the creation of the main product. And if you want to sell this item, or if you want to know the cost of the item, you can also easily get the cost sharing of the byproducts. Now, once you add this, when you just move on to the products and choose BOM, you can find a field called byproduct. So, as I just move on to here you would be able to find the byproduct. So, you can add the byproduct over here uh, in this line. And if you want to add the byproduct from the catalog, you can also get that. So in this case, we are just going to assemble the items. So if you are just cutting a wood panel on doll, you will be getting the wood dust. So you can add the wood dust as a byproduct. And if you want to add the cost sharing, you can also get the cost sharing from this adjust settings and enable that. So once everything is set, let's create a manufacturing order using this BOM. So under the operations, we can find the manufacturing order. I'm going to create a new manufacturing order by choosing the bill of material. So I'm going to choose the bill of material as drawer. As I just choose the product drawer, you can see the components is auto-populated over here. And under the work orders, you can also find that. As we haven't added any byproduct, you can see this field will be set to null. And under miscellaneous operation, you can find the operation type is taken as manufacturing. And you can also find the component location, that is warehouse stock, and the finished products will be also moving to the warehouse stock. And now let's confirm the manufacturing order. So once the manufacturing order is confirmed, you can see that the component status is available because we have all the components over there. As we just move on to the work orders, here you can see that first step is ready, that is packing is ready. Now we can just plan this. So first, when you just move on to the ready, here you can see that currently the drill one is blocked. So in order to start with the manufacturing, first we have to unblock. So as you just move on to the overview, here you can see that it's blocked. So if you want to unblock this, you can unblock that. So here, now as you just move on to the manufacturing orders, here you can see we have unblocked that and we can just start the manufacturing process. So as we just unblocked the warehouse, we can start the manufacturing of the item. That is the packing of the items from the drills work center. So let me click on start. So once the packing is done, you can just click on done. So it will be marked as finished and will be indicated with a green color. So once the first step is processed or first operation is done, you can see the other operation is ready. Now let's move on to the start for testing. The testing will be taken place from the work center or from the work center assembly line 1. So once it's done, you can just click it as mark as done. So once the testing is done, you can see the other operation is long time um of yeah. here we have provided long time assembly, and that will be purely taken from the work center assembly line 1. So again, you can start the process. So in order to start the process, here you can see the button is not visible right now. So let me adjust the field over here and let's start the process. So as I just start the process, here you can see the time that is taking. So if you want to set the durations manually, you can also adjust that. So once everything is done, you can click on mark as done. So you can see we have set with everything. Now, if you just move on to the shop floor, here you can find, we can just close the production. So before closing the production, we have to assign the load number or serial number. So once everything is done, we have to mark it as close because currently we have manufactured the item. So you can see that every overview over here. So that shows the drawbar with the quantity, the unit cost and real cost, as well as the components that is used with one quantity of drawbar black and drawbar case black. And you can also find the unit cost of each of the components over here. And you can also find the operations that is used over here as well as the cost that is applied. Now, again, let's move on to the manufacturing order. And from here, if you have any allocations, you can directly allocate this to the customer. So, if you don't know what is the allocation of the items, we have already done a video on how to allocate the product from a manufacturing order in Odoo 18. So, you can just watch that video. So, if you want to assign this to a particular pending sale order, you can directly assign it from here. So I would like to assign it from here. So I have just assigned it for the work order. Not the work order to the quotation of wood corner. So we have just completed the pending sale order over there. If you want to find the traceability, you can also easily find the traceability from this section, which means currently we have produced one drawer over here, and you can see we have produced, so the from location will be shown as production and that has moved into the warehouse stock. Now if you want to find the product moves, you can also easily get that by taking different components such as the drawer case black as well as drawer black. You can see that the final product is just built, that is drawer. Now, as you just move on to the overview, we have already discussed about overview. It shows every details regarding the overview. Now, as you just move on to the bill of material, you can also find the operation performance over here. And you can also get the BOM overview. So you can find the BOM overview by considering the main product as well as the components that is used as well as it also shows the operations and the cost that is affected over here, here is also visible. And yeah, that's how we just deal with a BOM in manufacturing order. So I hope this video clarifies what's a BOM and how a BOM is applied in manufacturing order. And that's all for today. If you want Odoo customizations or Odoo tutorial videos, feel free to contact Cybrosys. As always, stay awesome and thank you for watching the video. So by utilizing the BOM, it shows that what material is used and what number of quantities are required to manufacture a particular product. So I hope this video clarifies how to manage a BOM in Odoo 18 manufacturing module. And if you want Odoo customizations or Odoo tutorial videos, feel free to contact Cybrosys. As always, stay awesome and thank you for watching the video.